Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show that we've all been anticipated, waiting for. Hey, Sinatra Girl just gifted a sub to Apocalypto_12. Enjoy the emotes, Tyler. Can we get a Daelric F in chat for Rena? Can we get a Daelric F for Rena there, Apocalypto?
So Scott.
Yeah.
We decided in chat that if we roll well enough on animal handling when Rena becomes a zombie, that we can coerce her to stay with us as a part of our party.
Are you saying that Rena's nothing more than an animal to you? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that she is the strongest member of our group, even if she is a zombie with an AC of 8. That's what I'm saying.
That is pretty sad.
We need her.
Red, orange, green, blue. Let's see exactly how this plays out. Let's start with 3 red attacks against Rena.
3 natty ones.
Oh, man. Actually, what am I doing? All the red, oranges, and greens are attacking Rena, so I might as well just roll them all at once.
Just roll for all, yeah.
So it's 3, 6, 9. But I'm going to do, technically, the blue one as well. So I'm going to do 10, but I'm actually going to roll for 11. Because attack number 4 and 5 are going to be the advantage roll of that one guy. So I'm going to roll for it with 3, 6, 9. Yep, 11 attacks. And numbers 3 and 4 are going to be the advantage roll. Sorry, 4 and 5 are going to be the advantage roll.
Why is it 11? Because you should only add 1.
There's 10 guys attacking. But one of them is rolling with advantage, so I'm just going to take both the better of the two.
Okay, yeah. I only counted 9 initially, and then I realized I didn't look at the one on her.
Oh, man, this is bad. And they all have a good chance to hit against... Oh, God, Rena, I'm so bad. I feel so bad for you.
He's laughing.
He loves this.
All right.
They all miss. Wow.
How many health points do you have left, Rena?
Don't tell it. No.
Rena? First attack against you, this is zombie number 1, comes thrashing at you with a claw, and you pull back in time that it doesn't hit you. Second one comes biting at like your calf, going for you. You smack it with the bottom of your weapon. Third zombie comes grabbing the weapon, and as it pulls forward, rakes its teeth along the top of your hand, the back of your hand, injuring you for 3 points of damage. That's not so bad, right? Zombie number 4 is the advantage one. Because I rolled damage twice technically with this one, I have to take the second damage because that was the second attack that hit, which luckily for you is the lesser damage. So the one on your shoulder keeps trying to like gnaw away at you, and you keep just trying to like, as you're doing this other stuff over here, so like shoulder, get off me, ugh! But he still is able to get through. I just throw out my shoulder because I'm an old man. Ow.
You deserved it.
So he clamps down some more and does 3 points of damage to you right there as well. All right, let's go past these ones. The next zombie is going to actually start once again. Remember that cloak that you had thrown off of you and it's on the ground or whatever, right?
Wait. Did that? Was that it? Was that all it took?
So the one that was like thrown on the ground. This is the one that's still kind of like stuck to the cloak, or that has the cloak kind of like stuck to it from when it was attacking you beforehand, right? So this one comes at you, and he's starting to like climb up the side of the horse, and you're so focused over here trying to get this guy off your shoulder and fighting up. You don't realize he's literally up over here and takes a bite into your like side, like right into like where your obliques are, and does to you. Hold on, make sure I get the right one. 4 points of damage, and after him. Let's go over. Several more attacks that you're just able to bash and swing away. And then your second to last attack against you bites you again. For 7 more points of damage. Rita's being eaten alive by zombies with lots of attacks on her. I'm so sorry, Rita. I'm afraid to know what health you're at. I'm going to click down and look. Oh, Jesus. Poor Rita's at 3 health points.
Oh, okay.
Rita, you're still alive. You still have 3 health. You still have 8 zombies around you. 9 zombies around you, and 1 on top of you, equaling 10 zombies on you all together. You can literally start to feel like tunnel vision happening as like your vision starts to get like darkened on the rim and it's kind of like wavy in the front. You can feel your blood pressure dropping as your heart is beating, and the amount of liquid in your body is fading. I mean, you're frightened. You're fucking scared shitless. I mean, you literally, every time you're going over this, you keep looking up and seeing that thing there. And be like, you're trying to gasp for breath. She's trying to fight off these things. You're frantic. You're panicked. It is horrible. It's your turn. I know what you probably want to do is, but don't worry about that. Because as you're fighting back and doing all this, everything that's going on, these moments, every second seems to be passing like minutes going by. Every moment that passes is just exhausting you. It's just pulling all your strength and doing everything you can to fight for your life. And unlike Ophius when he was in this moment, was turtled behind a shield and defending himself pretty damn well behind that shield. You unfortunately are just not. You just seem to be open and exposed to every attack around you. And there's nothing you can do to get away. You feel the fear of this creature in front of you. Just every time you look at it, stealing your breath. But then, as you look up one last time, like one more time to take a glance at it, and once again brings that, like, you see something else catch your eye. Some, like, almost like shine. It's like a slight green glimmer that catches your eye. You have to look away to defend yourself. You look back up, you see there's a shape there. It's hard to... Oh, get off me! Oh, get off! And then you look up again and you realize what's there isn't a green glow at all. It's something hanging in the sky, like right in front of you. What is that right in front of you? You instinctively try to like swing at it to get it away, whatever it is, and attack another one behind you. And you look back up. Your horse is now, it's a war horse. It's straight. It is freaking the fuck out. And then you look up again and you see what's hovering in the air before you, literally hovering before you, is a sword. But not just any sword. It is a decent sized sword. Like a bastard sword. It's just right there. Right within your arm's reach. And it's like calling for you to grasp it. It's calling for you. You can feel it's just pulling towards you in a... almost like it's trying to give you strength.
I grab it.
You reach out with your free hand, axe in one hand. You reach out with the other hand and you grasp the sword. Immediately when you grasp that sword, your eyes open. Your heart rate slows. You feel calm. You feel focus. You know what you have to do. Holding that sword and looking up at the target in front of you. I mean, look at the map, Rena. How close are you to that creature? There's what? Just a couple of zombies in front of you? How hard would it be to get over to that creature? With one swipe of the sword, hard swipe of the sword, and this is your offhand because you were holding the axe in your primary. With your offhand swipe of the sword, you immediately drop the 4 zombies directly in front of you, carving a path between you and the creature.
Ophios can't be a hero now?
What is going on?
Carving a path between you and that creature. Do you want to approach it?
Yeah,
this creature that you're no longer afraid of?
Yes.
You step up to the creature. That's before you.
Wait, I thought she couldn't. She was frightened.
No, he said I'm not anymore.
Not anymore. And as you step up to the creature that's before you, you see it finally almost done coming together. Obviously, it's next trying to done being there. Its body is literally almost as though it's just wearing like loose clothing, like some, I don't know, poofy clothing on it. It's almost completely formed in. Its facial features are finally starting to come together in a way that you might be able to make out its race if you had enough time to like really focus on it, but its finer details aren't quite there yet. Its legs and arms and everything are fully formed. You're able to start seeing like somewhat decorations on the clothing that it has, but it's not quite that fine yet as it's pulling together. Once again, its color is still at dark gray. Opacity at like 97%. Like you can see through it just enough to be like, I can fucking see through that. That's weird. You know what I mean? But just barely, right? And and you're standing there before it. You have your axe in one hand and the sword in the other, and you know that one of these things can solve the problem in front of you. Do you want to attack it?
Yes.
Okay. You take your sword, and you, Rena, are welcome to make an attack roll. with a big heaving attack with the sword in your offhand.
What do I use?
You could just roll with the Great Axe's attack modifier if you'd like.
Okay.
Don't forget the +2 because of like the aids and whatnot on you. So that's a 26 chance to hit. Rena, that is a beautiful chance to hit. Can you, well, actually, you don't even need a roll. You swing with the sword, and as this creature's forming together, as you can literally see it in front of you, all the last little parts that come together, you decapitate the thing. And, like, as you chop its head off, you can see its head, like, bursting off, like literally, like almost like rocketing off, like a bottle cap or something like that. As all the mist and the ghost and the cloudiness of it just starts to erupt and explode outwards once again, making the large cloudy shape that we were talking about beforehand. There's like filling up that huge area very quickly. This creatures once again giving that almost like gaspy scream, like. As it starts like dissipating everywhere around you. And very quickly, almost as quickly as the creature came into sight originally, the creature disappears. And the clouds itself also start to dissipate, leaving behind just a few zombies. Just a few zombies. But even them, you're not scared of them. You're not scared of them at all. Rena, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna attack this one.
Green guy right there? Sure.
Yes.
Go right ahead. Sorry. I can just use your Great Axe for an attack roll.
Okay. Oh.
Well, the +2 is a 10. Yeah, it's actually a hit. You can roll your damage. And I assume you're attacking with the sword again, right? So
yes.
don't worry about the damage. You can modify that later on. But you hit the creature, no save. It just dies. It's still your turn. You still have a move and a bonus if there's anything you can do with those. I don't know if there is.
A move and a bonus?
What happened to the zombie that was on her?
Oh, yeah. Did I...
Oh, actually, technically speaking, he's still on
Is
you.
it still on me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I'm gonna kill that one.
You're just taking him for a ride.
What I would say is I'll allow you to bonus action, because I forgot to describe that one. That was my mistake, so this is just me admitting that. As a bonus action, you can make a disadvantage attack against that one if you would like. Let's try to knock it off you. Mm-hmm.
Yes. With the sword?
Yeah, sword axe, whatever. That's a hit. Roll your damage. Okay, so as you like killed the other one with the sword, you hit this one with the axe. A great axe, mind you, two-handed weapon. You just cleave its head. That one D's as well. It's now your move action. You have a 50-foot move. Would you like to yeet?
Yes. Yeet me, please.
And sorry, you probably go the opposite. You can come up with your friends. That's what, 5, 10.
Yes.
That's going to be 20, 30, 40. And then, assuming he moves over just a smidge, you can go boom, boom. Now, at this point, technically speaking, the zombies can, kind of climb up to you guys. I'm going to allow Ophios to take his turn, and depending on how that plays out, we probably don't need to make this go on any further. Sorry, you guys can take your turns, and that might be good enough that you can just use your horses to move fast enough and solve the problem. So, Ophios, what would you like to do on your turn, sir?
I used my potion of heroic potion. I want to use it.
Go right ahead, sir.
So how far do I have to move? Could be that. Or I could go down here and then do that. I'm gonna run towards it and try and trample it. I gotta do a check here.
It's actually not as far down as Rena was. You should be fine. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Or
so
here,
I don't
sorry.
need to do a check?
Nope, no animal handling. You can just make your attack roll.
I moved 20, so...
Yep. And roll your damage, because it's 10 hits a zombie. 10 points of damage. That thing is uninjured at this point, but I'll make my saving throw. So that's R, 1D, 20 plus 1. I fail, so it's going to fall prone. Make your second attack roll, sir. It's with advantage because he's prone.
I don't... Oh, there it is. I can do it on the sheet.
Mm-hmm. That's a hit, so why don't you roll your damage again? 14 points of damage. It's R 1d20 plus 3 against DC 19. Of course, I beat it, so it's still alive. It's still technically your turn. Want to hit it with your attack?
Yes.
Okay, make your attack roll. 3 attacks to kill 1 zombie. That's crazy. That's a hit. Roll your damage. Actually, you don't have to roll your damage. We know it's enough. I just make your... Oh, you do have to, because I have to beat a DC 14 now. Oh, I fail. And I can't even Daddy's Dice that. So this one dies, and then you can move away with the rest of your movement to kind of get back to here, which is fine. Or even further if you want to, if you have enough speed for it. Messy...
I only moved 20, so I'll move...
10 more?
30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Messy, it's your turn. What do you do, sir?
A
I'll move to...
double take, and then I say.
Hold on 1 second, Josh. Are you saying today's now your daughter's birthday because it's after midnight? Is that what you're saying? Josh, is today your daughter's birthday? Happy birthday to your baby girl. Hey, 2 years old. Aw, congrats, man. 2-year-old is a great age. 2-year-olds, people say terrible twos. I say beat your kid more. 2 years old is an awesome age. I loved 2 for my daughter. So I hope you enjoy every minute of it. But let her sleep for this. Otherwise tomorrow won't be so pleasant.
Yeah.
Messy, it's your turn.
I'm gonna do a double take, and then I'm gonna say, "What the fuck?" And then I'm gonna run.
So you're not gonna
I'm getting out.
you're not gonna make any attack rolls with your bow
Gotta
first?
eat.
No,
Go.
I'm running.
Let's go.
But Messy, what if you can kill one epically before you go? This one right here is injured.
I don't care, Daelric.
Messy.
That is the least of my concerns right now.
We're not killing the rest of the zombies?
No.
Messy.
I'm running.
Okay, I guess you can
You
just
can't
run.
catch me, and I'm out of frame now.
Are you sure? Are you sure you want to run? You don't want to like make an attack as you go? Oh, okay. I guess you can. Oh, but unfortunately, you oh, you hit actually. Oh, you did 5 points of damage. Good job. Good job,
Why
sir.
are you making me attack?
Not enough to kill him though, so you're not that impressive. Okay, and then you guys have enough speed that you can get because these guys are not going to be able to make the movement to Rena and attack her, so you're going to be able to get away. And Rena, the real question here is: there's realistically left 4 uninjured, 5 uninjured, and 1 very injured zombie. Rena, with her confidence and what's in her hand and so on and so forth, would she run away or would she say "fuck it" and stay and finish them off?
I mean, seeing how like what the sword did, like basically insta killed.
Mm-hmm.
She'd probably stay and kill them.
So while the two of them are starting
running.
to while the 2 of them are backing off and trying to be smart enough that one running away entirely, the other one, but he was already heroic 3 times beforehand, so it's not like his character's a coward. This is the end of the fight. He just probably was reading the room, right? And while Ophios there is like, I just drank a potion, I'm just going to be smart with my attacks to make sure I don't get in that scenario again. Rena just like doesn't even notice that her friends are running away. She just turns towards her enemies, has her axe hanging low in one hand, this like large sword hanging low in the other one, and just starts like, Kya, and starts like riding forward towards these things. And like as she comes up to the first one, axe chop with the sword. Another one's head and just starts mowing them down and cutting through the last few of them. Still 3 health points left on her character as she just goes over. And with the last one of them, it's kind of like your sword couldn't quite get it. So it's one of those things where you like throw your leg over off of the horse and like dismount quickly and just go over to the last one with a hard thrust into the creature's chest, killing the last zombie with a sword in your hands. As you kill that last one, you feel the sword giving to you purpose, giving to you strength. You realize this sword is an omen. You can feel her presence watching down at you, giving you some degree of comfort. And then as you kind of like blink a couple moments, you realize the sword is no longer in your hand. Rena, you know that you are holding that sword. You knew the might that you were able to do with it. They didn't see that. What the 2 of them saw was Rena go ham with this axe in both of her hands and just go absolutely nuts. But you knew what was in your hand. You know what was there.
That's so fucking cool. That's awesome.
Combat over.
Damn.
Well, thank you, chat, for giving them one of the most dangerous scenarios that came across so far and saving them from it. Oh, that was scary. Oh, I won't lie, that was scary. I was legitimately concerned for you guys for a hot minute there. Oh god, that was scary.
I thought that was it. I thought that was the end.
Yeah, I won't lie. I thought that was all over. So that was beautiful. All right, so let's bring it to role play now, because obviously what you guys just experienced. How do you? I mean, Giannis, I imagine you don't run 6 miles and then realize they're not with you. I imagine you go back probably maybe 200 feet or so, and you're like, "Oh, we're not running. Oh, she killed them all." You know, like. Ophios, you're the closest one to her, so Giannis, I don't want to speak for you, but I imagine you turn around and come back. But since Ophios, you're the closest one to her, what do you say or do first as you see her almost like coming out of this trance she has, having just killed the last one with this axe in her hand?
Like 5+ zombie bites on me.
5+, Rena, you had like 15 zombie bites on you.
So it's just covered in blood.
Yeah. What do you say, since you're the first one there, Ophios?
Quite the trailblazing attacks, but maybe we need to work on that defense a bit.
I'm sorry.
He'll just say that and look at her kind of both in amazement, but also being like, all right.
You're going to be the dad that your kid comes home and it's like, look, Dad, look, I got a full ride to Yale. I'm so amazing. And you're like, but it's not Harvard.
No.
That's what you say?
Honestly, Ophios' jaw pretty much dropped when that was going down, because he was sitting there trying to do what he could, but knew he was in pretty bad shape after already tanking a complete surrounding of zombies himself for quite a long time with his shield. But seeing Rena just go ham, he would present it that way, but like his expression would immediately say he's just trying to play it cool, like, and failing hard.
So just like come over and just say, like, what, panting, covered in blood, just.
And then Ophios would follow up with what's came over you? What's happened?
I can't say for sure what happened. I just knew I needed to get out of there. Still kind of shaken up a little, but she's still like, she's calm.
Yeah, I fully expected to have to retrieve your bodies and find a way to heal you laters. And that was quite a mess, and killing that creature in one swipe, that, I don't know. Did it dissipate, Scott, or did it like fall to the earth?
And no, it like almost like imagine like that huge cloud of like necromantic energy was pulling itself together into think effective like a soda can, right? And she just stabbed the soda can. It's like everywhere, right?
So it basically did the same thing all of those bodies did, just at a bigger level.
Yeah, it just kind of like it condensed itself, and then she pushed it outwards, and then it dissipated entirely from that magical
Can I roll
aura.
an Arcana to see if I know what... I rolled a nat 20 the last time I rolled an Arcana for that.
Honestly, do me a favor. Roll me a what's it called? Concentration check with disadvantage to see if you would have against just a DC. What is it? Was it normal DC 10? I think against a DC 10 to see if you would even still have that spell up, because I kept forgetting to make you roll. So
is that a
one con save with disadvantage? Yep.
Okay. Does my protection gave me a +1? It doesn't make it so I don't have disadvantage, right?
I'm sorry.
Amulet of Protection. I know it gave me a +1
Yeah.
for all my stuff, which
Correct.
I already have on there. I
Correct.
just didn't know if it did anything for disadvantage.
No.
Great.
So your spell wasn't up, so you weren't able to see quite what was happening with the magic at that time. As you were riding over that attack that hit you, made you drop it. So Yondas, you of course approach. They of course were just having the chatter. Yay. You approach. I imagine. I don't want to speak for you.
Sure. Yeah. That's
I don't know if you say anything.
Actually, no. I probably wouldn't approach. I'd probably just wait for them to come to me.
I'd walk to Yondas.
I would like run a distance away, see they weren't following, and then I would stop and wait. But I'm not going back.
I'm assuming I grabbed my horse and like I'm leading it with me. I'm not on it.
Ovios would reach into his pack and pull out a potion of cure major wounds and hand it to Rena.
I'd take it and chug it. I'm just kidding. Just drink it. I would turn to Giannis and say, "Thanks for helping."
Good. Ophios did nothing. All right.
No, I'm gonna thank him too. I'm just saying. I'm talking to him first, bro.
Giannis was in there.
He's so salty. Why are you so salty?
I was in there literally tanking half the battle.
Giannis can't. He can't do that. He has a low AC and low health points. He
Look,
can't do
I'll
that.
say that. Hold on. Going back to Ophios.
This is me being salty, not Ophios.
No. I gotta say something.
Got a whole ass pizza.
like-
What the hell?
Oh, I always forget to do my pizza on Fridays. I gotta remember to buy one every week.
No, she's a little annoyed and turns back to Ophios and says, "So why was that important to go in there?"
He's eating a pizza. Give him a second.
Yeah.
In RP, he found a rat and he just couldn't help himself.
He's eating it. Swallowed it whole. The tail.
Ophios or Beidra?
Yes.
No, we're I was being funny. She asked you a question.
Oh, guys, he was trying to be funny. That's chat. So if you didn't
Why
catch
was it
that,
important for me to go in there?
Yeah.
Weren't we already being attacked when I went in there? I can't remember.
No, you went down to the bodies.
Yeah, I went to the bodies in a roundabout fashion where I didn't get hit on the way there.
The zombies weren't up until you got there. You got over there.
No, the zombies appeared with all of us there.
I thought you were already down there and then they all started standing.
We were all down there.
no, Rena and I escaped, and then you went in there.
Yeah, we were up
After
on
we
the
escaped.
hill.
That's what she's saying. She's saying when we could have ran, why'd you go to the bodies?
Yeah. Like, why investigate?
Scott, quick question.
Shoot.
Would Lopers have that kind of necromancy magic? Would that have been something I would have been known about?
He's trying to
Retcon.
tie it in.
Retcon.
Actually, no, not that you're familiar with.
Because I had two options to go with, so it wasn't Lopers.
The better option, I assume.
Honestly, at the end of the day, Ophios will just say, curiosity got the best of me. The magics were different, uniques. I thought I could end it without having to fight through the zombies. And if we didn't face this, think of what would have befallen perhaps our comrades, perhaps others. We need not have magics like this exists.
Did you think that we'd make it out?
I had...
Just him. Just you.
Hey, so the important part here is that we all made it out, and
I
we're
honestly don't remember
together
that so far
again.
back because I had a reason I was down there, but I can't remember.
Well, you guys were all investigating, but they were like, "Yeah, I'm good," and you're like, "Whoa, hold on, let's
Let's
see."
go.
They're all. It's safe now. If you recast the spell, Tyler, there's no more magics here now that you can tell at least from this distance. You can always feel free to get up close, and now you can actually investigate the area and the bodies because they dead now.
Well, I wanted to say we're not done RP.
Oh, please. Rena's like, "Shut up, Scott."
Honestly,
Mom bear. Mom bear's
honestly
ready.
once
Hang on.
Rena said that, Ophios would probably have walked over towards the bodies.
That's okay. That's not
Walk
far.
away.
Realistically, Rena, it's not like he's going far. We're talking he's going like maybe, if you look about where you are, 40 feet from you. That's 40 feet's not far. You know what I mean?
Oh, I forgot I needed to take this away.
Yeah, because I'm mad. I'm big mad.
Oh, hey-oh. Yeah, but 40 feet's less than 15 yards.
So I'll follow him. Kind of with purpose or limp after him, whatever. Whatever I can do.
Sure.
And just say, Ophios, Giannis and I are here supporting you. To find these lopers. these lopers, whether Yondis wants to be or not. He's here. How can you just run into battle and not think of, you know, the two of us after everything that we've been through? Is that how you're going to?
The corpses.
Is that how you're going to approach things? Because honestly, I don't know if it's worth it for us to help you fight the lopers anymore.
Whoa, take it easy, man. From Drake and Josh, thank you.
Did Yondis say that?
No.
I was gonna say.
Giannis is not getting in this. Giannis is like sitting on his horse, like a distance away with a bow out.
Do I find anything on the corpses?
Oh, so my apologies. You don't respond?
Not at the moment. I'm waiting until you tell me if I find stuff on them.
Well, she's saying that literally as you're walking away. So she finishes that sentence as you get there and you're starting your search. Feel free to respond. If you don't want to respond, if you just straight up ignore her, that's fine. You can go about
He's staying silent for now.
It's going to take about a minute for me to give you your result. Rena, a minute will pass before I say anything. Do you allow a minute of silence to linger, or do you press the point?
I'll just wait.
You can see he's clearly busy, so you just do that whole, oh, you think just because you're doing dishes this conversation's done? You do dishes, I'll watch you. No, I'll watch you do those dishes, and when you turn around...
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll wait.
I'll unpause. Alright. I've never been there. Nope. So he just kind of like, you know, heads down or whatever. And that's funny. I was measuring that distance before, but I forgot that I moved you guys away. So he heads down there and starts looking over the bodies. And honestly, these are adventurous bodies, Tyler. Like, they actually have equipment on them. Now, mind you, however long ago it was that they died was probably a considerable amount of time ago. Because their armor is like rusted. Their weapons are rusted. No, everything seems kind of like rusted and old. If they had scrolls on them, they've already been saturated and frozen and saturated and whatnot, so they've already been ruined by weathering. Their backpacks are all beat up. Their potions at some point in time, maybe from during the combat, or maybe others that come through the area, whatever the case may be, have been smashed open. You can see the broken glass in areas. So it looks like there's nothing of value on them, but you, of course, put on Detect Magic so you can see a little bit better. And one of the things that you notice is it actually seems as though literally the three corpses themselves, all six of their eyes, which are still that black, almost like orb, all six of their eyes are still giving off a bit of like a faint necromantic magic. I mean, you don't know what it is, but you know that all of their eyes seem to give you, we're talking like very faint to the point where you could have overlooked it. Beyond that, you can actually tell that one of their shields, even though it does have rust on it, it's a little beat up. You're sure that if it was properly handled by like a good blacksmith, they could probably polish it off, like scrape off the rust, refinish it, so on and so forth, so it would look nice. But that shield is giving off an aura of magic as well, and does seem to be like a quality made shield. The leather straps are all rotted through and have to be replaced, and like the wooden part that you grab onto so it needs a little bit of work. But there's definitely a magical shield that's lying there to be grabbed as well. So, again, literally their eyes seem to have necromantic energy. There's a magic shield that's down there. That's what you notice.
He's going to grab the shield off and immediately kind of lash it to his pack, not putting it into use, and take out his dagger and just kind of sigh, looking at the eyes, and turn towards Rena and say, Fair's points. I'll have a better answer for you later. And when he sighs, he actually shows his hood and shows his snake head, and so it's not like a hidden face. And he's
crying.
Snakes don't show emotions on their face. So it's just kind of blank. There's nothing to it, and then immediately gets down on his knees and starts using his dagger to try and pop all their eyes out.
He's doing that. Then the last thing the Rena will say is, After everything I've done for you, at least Yondis didn't put either of us in danger and just walk back towards the horse. Like, she's like so mad, she's like fighting tears but doesn't want him to see it. And she mounts the horse and it just kind of starts to head off a little but not leave.
Like a slow, sad trot.
Yeah, whatever.
So it's just me and Ophios now?
Yeah, it's just you two.
What do I need to roll to try and get these eyes out?
I mean, I would have passed Yondis, but that's about it.
So you're gonna stay there and try to get the eyes out. It's actually gonna be a survival check. But you've spent so much time like focusing on this, the magic, so on and so forth. You're familiar with it, blah blah blah. With your character, I would actually allow you to do this with advantage.
You're me, right?
I'm. He's the one that's. Yeah. Are you talking to Yondis at all? I think you said you just like walked past him.
I just kind of walked past him. So if he wanted to say anything,
like I'm not here. Yeah.
If he wanted to say something, he could have. But it's not like I was blatantly ignoring him. I was just kind of walking.
Yeah, you're not being rude because you were actually kind of defending him just now, and he probably heard that. So you weren't like being rude to him. It was just one of those like you're frustrated clearly with back there, not with him. Gotcha. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that you like Yondis doesn't get the impression like. Okay, you know what I do?
Yeah.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting. Advantage survival check, please, Snake Man.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where when Rena walks by, Yondis like doesn't want to move his head, but he like tracks her with his wide eyes, like what's going on? That has never happened to him before. Hey, nice double tens. Kind of wasted an advantage there, though, didn't you?
Hey. All right. So you do start plucking the eyes out of the head. Now, unfortunately, this is not a very easy task to do, right? So you start like plucking the eyes, and unfortunately, the first one you do, you get the dagger in there, whatever weapon you use, and you actually puncture the eye, and you can literally see this like thick, viscous goop kind of like pouring out of the back of the eye right where you puncture, and you're like, shit. And so you like go over to the other one, and this time you kind of more do like a scraping around the outer part of the socket, and you get to the point where you can kind of get the sword in there or dagger and like hit it down and pop it up from behind, and you work your way.
I forgot to ask if it would be possible to take a 20 here.
No, because there's a penalty. Okay. There's a penalty for failure.
Right.
So when you are, as you're making your way around, popping out the eyes, you're able to successfully pop out, I would say 3 of them, you pop out perfectly. And the 4th one, it's like you get it out, but you know you scraped it. So you have to like super careful with handling it afterwards. So it's, but you definitely get 3 out in perfect condition. A 4th one is a little injured, but nothing has leaked out of it yet. 2 of them are completely wasted from the, just the procedure, the technique, the action of removing the eyes. You don't know what significance they might have in the future, but you definitely get the impression that these are carrying some amount of power to them. Mm-hmm. Rena, you said you walked away from the whole scene, right?
Yeah, I'm not far away. I'm just not facing them.
Okay.
Are you on your horse still or no?
Yes, I'm on my horse. I'm just kind of... I was drinking the potion, maybe halfway, and maybe now I'm finishing it or something.
she nurses potions like a Zima.
Just for something to do, something to.
Rena, does this scene kind of drag on anymore, or do you guys like after that kind of like moment and everything? Do you and Yondis have a moment at all, or does it just kind of you guys end up just traveling on?
I'm leaving it up to him.
So when Rena walks off, Yondis kind of stays in between them, and he's just like kind of hunched over on his horse resting, waiting for Ophios to finish up with what he's doing, but he's not saying anything. That's a whole ass pizza though, for realsies. You need to.
Yeah.
He does it every week. Why are you surprised?
It's just weird. It's just like you should cut it up at least. You know?
Tyler, I you know what? I should ask you to like text me every Thursday. Get your damn pizza so I can have a pizza with you. I always forget. I only did it the once. You're like, don't put that on me. You're a 34-year-old man. Don't put that on me.
Legitimately, what my mind was like, dude, if you're asking me to try and remember to text you to get pizza. I might do it once, but that's about it. And I already did do it once, which was the Friday where we went to the pizza party.
You did remind me. I was like, oh, good thing. Go get that pizza. You get a wife, you get a kid, you can get your own damn pizza. All right, anyways. So, go ahead, guys.
Ophios will kind of ride up, and he'll ride up next to Yondis, and just kind of, for the first time in a weird way, Ophios is just gonna walk up and give him a pat on the back and say, thanks for having my backs. And he would just kind of stand next to Yondis and wait until kind of start walking forward, seeing if he can get Yondis to do so as well. Kind of walk forward a couple steps, look back, and see if we could get on our journey.
Yeah, just muttering to himself as he turns the horse around. Giannis is just like, what a weird fucking day. And he falls behind him.
Okay. Rena, as you guys are walking away, even though you're walking away from the scene, some of the pain, of course, still lingering with you. You can still feel the burning sensation, the scratches. There was a lot that you took in damage. I don't know if you rolled to heal health points, if you just said thematically drank the potion. But
I don't think I rolled.
It's fine. Thematically heal the potion because you're gonna heal during travel anyways. But one of the things that you do know, that even though you're walking away from where all of this took place, one thing stays with you. You remember that experience vividly. I mean, you don't necessarily know that they didn't see what you saw or experienced or whatever. That's an out-of-game thing. But that lingers with you. Her presence lingers with you. And you know that as you're riding on, it's not like you're leaving behind the fact that she aided you there. You feel like she's going to be with you as she has been, or you believed she was with your devotion and your youth. You feel like, no, my devotion's paid off. She is with me. For those of you that are not familiar with what we're talking about, this is Lady Aravel Dark Eyes, okay? That's, so you guys are going to be able to continue traveling forward. Let's actually bring you over to the map. Where is the map here? Here we go.
Where's the map? Where's the map?
So you guys were Dora the Explorer.
That's right.
I haven't really watched Dora.
So we're making a live action.
Oh, that's right. They are doing a live action. Yeah, that's right.
It already came out.
Yeah, it's been out.
I mean, she's watched a little Dora, but honestly, Messy, not to sound too hipster here or whatever, my daughter can go like 3 or 4 days straight without watching a single wink of TV, and then
that sucks.
Yeah, so we TV's on. I'm not gonna say she doesn't watch it. I mean, there could also be a day where she watches like 4 hours of it, but we don't watch a lot of it.
I thought we were going through the mountain.
You are, but don't forget you're going south. Yeah. Making your way around.
Oh, right, because we're trying to explore or whatever.
Correct. Not about making green. More about trying to go around where it is that they would have expected you to go through. Come from a different angle.
Yeah, we were going away from the Iron Hand Monastery because of what happened in town.
You're right.
We created the 3 green hexes in case we needed to have a quick path to go this way.
Got it.
And I'm just going to pull up the travel times bit again so I can have everybody see this. Just as a reminder of how exploring Peredhel kind of works. Depending on the region that you're in, you guys happen to be on horses, so your base speed actually goes up from the party's base speed, which is 30, actually steps up a step to 40, which is cool.
And we also have the maps for this area still.
That's right, you do, which actually is a second step up. Thank you, Tyler. That's actually a really good call. So that you actually travel like 50. So this region that you're in is considered like hills or foresty. So it's actually only a day, not exploring, sorry, where's 50? This is other terrain, so it's only about 5 hours per hex that you're traveling through right now. So with you guys being here, that's only about 5, that's about 10 hours, which is about 1 day. So trying to get to here, that should be about 20 hours. Do you guys try to add any speed to this? Because 20 hours could easily be 2.5 days of travel, or you can try to force march it a little bit, so it's only 2 days of travel. Are you...
Is that with our war horses?
Correct. War horses adding on, and the maps adding on, correct.
Ophios wouldn't want to do that. He'd take
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
He literally just fought. We want to be aware of our
take it
surroundings.
easy.
That's fine. So more or less, because each day's travel is 8 hours, so 2 is about 15 hours. So you get to about 3 hexes when you kind of the stop of the second day. It's at this point, Rena, I would actually like you to do me a favor and make me a Constitution saving throw, pretty please.
Okay. Am I on normal or disadvantage?
Asking for a friend. It's gonna be a normal save.
Okay.
Your wounds recover no problem, Rena. You very easily are able to. You have to keep bandaging them and cleaning them. Your practices are good. You know, you keep them clean, and sure they sting and they're tender. The small parts where they get a little infected or whatever, but you properly treat them with the herbs and whatnot. You guys find, but you know, you don't catch any form of affliction that's going to slowly deteriorate you into a zombie or anything like that.
Oh wow. So cool.
You could have turned into a zombie?
What? No.
Probably. I got so many bites, dude.
What the hell?
No, it totally wouldn't have happened.
Imagine all that. You went through all that only to turn into
a zombie, yeah.
During travel. Off camera.
You know, I'm sure y'all would have preferred that zombie Rena doesn't speak.
Hey. So the next day, on your third day of travel, as you guys are traveling, could you actually do me a favor? Go ahead and make me a perception check. This is a group perception, so whoever wants to roll with advantage, group perception check, please.
I have a +2.
I think it's Yondis.
I have a +4.
We should honestly make a group sheet.
I was gonna ask for RP moment at the first night.
Oh, my apologies. So before Rena's wounds is still fresh before she... I'm sorry, Tyler. Go ahead.
Yeah. So probably whenever Yondis would go to sleep, if Rena was still around dealing with her wounds or something like that. He doesn't want Yondis to be around.
If I were still around.
Yondis, do you ever feel like the kid here? Like they tuck you off to bed and then go have mommy and daddy time? Like...
Ophios, as far as he's concerned, has said what he needed to say to Yondis.
Yondis is sleeping. You're fine. Go ahead. Have your talk.
Poor Messi. Messi, I love you.
Or is he? Yeah. Wait,
or
roll
is
for
he?
it. Is he asleep?
Oh,
yeah, he's asleep, I guess.
I'm absolutely asleep.
He's asleep.
Hold on.
He's asleep.
I have a shot with this. No, I don't. You have a +5. Unless I luck it, I could luck it.
No.
It's a natty 20.
Oh my god.
So I'm sleeping with the one eye open.
He's sleeping. Okay.
Daelric, I appreciate the text. I forgot you had my number. That's really creepy. Is that what you said? Hold on. Is that what you're looking down? Jesus Christ.
Yo.
You said it. I don't know why you needed to text it to me.
I want to make sure you knew. Go ahead, guys.
All right, I'll send you a photo.
All right, I'm sitting by the fire, I guess.
Ophios is going to have the eyeballs out that he had pulled from the corpses, and also the shield. And that would essentially be all he had in his hands. He'd have everything else tucked away, wherever it needs to be. And he would go ahead and approach Rena without saying anything, kind of just... he would have put the eyes in some sort of cloth and tied it off, so it's kind of like a bag. He would kind of set the shield down in front of her and drop the bag on top of it. And already have one of the eyes in his hand and hold it out in front of Rena and just say, I may have put you in dangers. It's not my intentions to do so.
She looks up midway through what you're saying and like notices the eyeball in your hand and kind of goes like...
All you see from the eyeball, as far as what Ophios would have done, was clean it up, so there's no like
she
optical
still thinks it's gross.
optic nerve is gone or something like that. If that wouldn't cause any issues, Daelric, it would just kind of look like a black sphere almost. He would have gotten rid of the optic nerve if that was okay without causing damage to it.
Yeah. You'd be able to like peel it away, so it's like a nice, pretty clean orb. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how did Rena react again? I just wanted to.
She looked because she saw you pulling these things out of the
he had one in his hand beforehand, So he
No.
didn't.
Was it
He
the zombies
literally.
or the other guys? Sorry.
I pulled him out of the zombies.
Oh,
heads.
okay. Sorry, go ahead.
But the shield and then the bag would have been dropped before you. I don't know if you would have seen that because the horse would have been. I don't know if it would have blocked what I was doing or if you were close.
No,
enough.
she's sitting like by the fire, so she would have noticed because she's already looking down, and then she would have looked up and seen you holding out this eyeball in your hand, and would have been like jumped a little, and then looked up, like what?
Yeah. So Sophia said, I may have put you and Yandis in dangers, but that was not my intentions. My mission has always been my missions, and my missions alone.
Why'd you want me to sleep for this?
I didn't. It was the fact that he wouldn't approach it with another person listening in intentionally. This is something that he is apologizing and dealing with people like
one at a time,
not trying to manipulate is very unusual.
Okay. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, sure. I'm asleep.
Literally, to give perspective, anybody go back and literally watch the first episode 0 for Ophios. He would have killed his snake comrade in battle if he had to.
Okay.
Continue.
Literally runs on his own.
Continue.
She's sighs, but she's listening.
And he just says, dealing with others and thinking of others is new to me. It's something that's not trained amongst our kinds. In trainings, only the ones who survive make it to this rank. Only the ones that survive leave the nest to hunt the lopers. I have killed many of my own kinds to get to where I am. Minis that I would consider as families long before as you twos. Simply having been from the same nests.
So because we survived, you chose not to kill us?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is foreign to me. People's comes and goes. They don't stick around with people's like us. People's like me's.
Oddly enough, I understand. I was alone for a good portion of my life. And it's always been that way until I met you two.
It wasn't until that battle that I realized how much you guys had my backs. Willings to risk yourselves for something you knew nothing about or could not seize. Yes, my curiosity gets the best of me, but I figured I could handle myself and find my ways out. But like I said, it was I was thinking about, not yous, not his. It's why I have been so hard getting along with Yandis. He goes against the plans, which in my race ends in deaths. In my kinds, in my trainings, you gets caught, you kills yourself, or somebody finds you and kills you.
I guess I sort of understand. It's just we're not like that around here. Not so intense.
It is what it is. It's all I've known ups until yous. And he takes the eye and puts it back in the bag and hands it to Rena.
I'll just take it like from the very top, like just what's this for?
These have values. I want to study them. Normally, I would keep them on me's because that's mine's. That's my purposes. This is me saying, where you goes, I goes. And I hopes, based off what happened back there, it's the same ways.
She'll take it, not as gingerly. She'll just hold it and keep it. And she'll just say, I never planned on walking away from you or Yondis. I was just upset. I haven't felt, and this is hard for her to say, I haven't felt fear like that since, my family died. So it was said in anger. But I want to stick together. I want to help you and Giannis, whatever his goals might be, whenever he decides to share.
This is for chat real quick. I heard what you said and I'll respond to Sophios here in a second. But think about the irony of giving somebody eyes and the fact that he's not going to be watching over his shoulder anymore. Like literally, it's like he's not watching under a keen eye anymore. This is the full establishment of trust to him. It's the most symbolic thing he can do for what he has on him. And then we'll get to the shield. Ophios would almost look emotionless when you talked about losing your family.
Mm-hmm.
But also at the same time, wouldn't. It's just a snake face. His body language would kind of slouch a little bit. But he wouldn't necessarily say it. But the only person you would be able to tell that there's something that resonates with him in that.
Mm-hmm.
And he would immediately speak up and say, the shields, or my shields, looking at the beat up one on the ground, if you have of interest in learning shields, I'd happily works with you. And perhaps you can increase my ability to use the mines. But, as you can tell, that one's needs works. And there's no one else I would trust other than Zeus to work on such a piece.
She'll pick it up and just kind of look at it a bit. And not looking at you, she'll just smile a little. And she'll sigh. And then look up at you and just say, yeah, I'd be interested in learning. I could definitely make this into something pretty useful for us.
And as for Yondis, you'll hear less from Mies against his actions.
He's on our side, just playfully. Should just kind of like, punch him. Like, just, he's on our side.
I'm gonna get away with so much.
And then he'll say, I'll take first watch. You can rest.
Okay. And then before he walks away, she'll hug him. And he'll probably be like, what?
He wouldn't return the hug. He'd just kind of stand there.
Just stand there.
That's how I hug people. They hug me and I'm like...
I know, Scott. I know.
Stand there.
It's like, what is this physical
affection? I watched
affection?
the Warhammer VOD about you talking about my hug. How weird I am for hugging you.
You saw that?
He just stands there.
I didn't say you're weird. I said I'm East Coast. I show affection by saying horrible things about you. And you're West Coast.
Cincinnati and hugging...
Yeah, you adapted to LA in a hot minute, okay? You're West Coast. You're like, no, I show affection by being nice to people and hugging them. And I'm like, this is weird.
This is weird.
This is uncomfortable. I need an adult. No, Snow Owl. It's not like you don't return the hug. It's one of those like, you know when you hug somebody and they hug you back, but it's one of those they clearly don't want to be there.
They're like a
I see.
like a pat or whatever.
I know that because that's most hugs in my life. Like, ew, you touched me. Usually I'm on the ew side, but I've received some ews. Believe you me, I've received some ews. I don't think you need convincing on that. So, anyways, you flex. That's amazing. So, you guys, of course, the evening finishes off as you guys blah 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 blah. The next night, obviously, Rena, you're treating your wounds, and as we described beforehand, you realize there's a lot little infections here and there, kind of like if you got a paper cut but didn't put enough triple antibiotic on it, like redness, pus, not pus, sorry, like a bit of redness, sensitivity, blah 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 blah, but nothing that's like going to ruin your day or cause any actual issues.
Like the next night or the next.
This is that. Remember that because that he wanted to have a cutscene the first night. The second night was when we were talking about. I made you make the Constitution save. But that same night, like as you're making you're kind of like doing this other dressing of your wounds, and you realize that okay, these are uncomfortable, but I'm going to recover. As you're kind of like going through your pack and getting the supplies and whatnot that you need, something kind of like falls out of your pack that catches your eye. You remember the necklace that was given to you by Mathis Cuddy.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Mathis Cuddy? I think it's his name, right? Mathis Cuddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you like named him something like that.
So awesome. Makes me happy. So you actually find that that necklace that kind of fell out, and when you're looking at it, you realize that it is a modified. Like it's the same sigil. It's a sigil of Lady Arvel Dark Eyes, like you've seen many times before. But it's slightly modified. It's a little bit different than the typical. It's how the sword kind of pierces through the eye, the shape of the eye, and kind of like the almost like tendrils that kind of come off of it. The blade itself has a bit of like an angle to it that's not there from like the design that you grew up with. It's like a slightly modified version of it that when you like pick it up and you know kind of like regarding it again with what just happened to you 2 days beforehand or whatever, regarding it, something about this kind of speaks to you. I mean, Lady Arvel, you've always appreciated her and what she does and so on and so forth. I mean, she's a lawful evil goddess of like war and battle planning and obedience and dedication and stuff like that, and acceptance and open-mindedness and blah 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 blah. But something about the sigil and kind of like it seems just slightly different, almost like it's a different tone, or you don't know what it is because you don't know the culture, but the difference to it almost tells you there's like a difference to the faith. That it's not that it speaks to you, but it also doesn't push you away either. Almost like if you were somebody that grew up with, just bringing this like modern day or real world terms, if you were somebody that grew up with a cross that was just a bare cross in its design, then all of a sudden you come across the crucifix, which has the cross with Christ like hanging from you, like, oh, that's different. What? It's the same faith clearly, but that's different. Like I'm curious like what the differences are between this and that. That kind of like is what you're seeing there before you without there being a dead person hanging from it, right? So you're kind of getting that feeling. Anyways, that's how like kind of happens that night as you're kind of regarding this. Is this something like, would you actually like wear that necklace, or you put it back in your pack?
Yeah, she would put it on and maybe just kind of under, like on and then just under her armor.
Under her armor. What the hell?
You know what I mean?
Yep, of course I do. Under her armor. So one of the funny things I do want to point out about that before we do that next little thing. Where are you? Where's Faiths? There you are. Sorry, I couldn't find my own PDF. Lady Arvel Dark Eyes is known for 3 tenets to her dogma: tolerance, obedience, and worship. And one of the things about Lady Arvel with her worship is for those that are like devout worshipers as opposed to like kind of like lip service worshipers, which many people are, especially in Peredhel, is that she always, so this is one of the dogmas of her faith, always worship Lady Arvel loudly and proudly, wear her colors or sigil openly for all to see. And then there's attempting to convert and whatnot, but that's not going to be necessarily where you are. So you've never worn an image of hers, but at this point you actually take this charm and you fasten it on your neck and you let it sit there, and probably like with your axe or whatever it is, you look at it and you're like, huh, I like the way it looks. But then just because of how you've always worshipped her, maybe like a moment of like discomfort, like it looks good, but then you like tuck it underneath your arm or whatnot too.
Yeah, she's like not totally comfortable.
Yeah,
wearing it openly.
It's good to have it close to your heart, but not necessarily like completely open and on display. And then that evening, you guys rest. And so at this point, 2 days of resting, of travel rest and so on and so forth, you're probably back to full health and HD and all that other stuff, and everything's fine. The next thing I really wanted to point out, and this was what I was getting to beforehand, was the next day when you guys are traveling, at the tail end, like more than half of your day's travel, it's like a good 5, maybe 6 hours of travel the next day. I actually want you to make me that group perception check that was never rolled. And because it's a group check, it gets rolled with advantage. And I believe you were saying that Messi was the one that was good.
Because he has the +5.
That is correct. Mm-hmm. Was it advantage perception?
Correct, sir.
That starts with P. Yes, there we go.
Sinatra, we're getting snow here tomorrow evening.
Hey. I might get snow.
What temperature is it there?
73. Huh. Well, no, that's in Miami. I shouldn't say that.
Oh. Jacksonville.
61.
That's not bad. It's actually, I think, what it is in my basement right now. So you are 22 perception. You guys are making your way along the track, continuing your path towards Momley, when suddenly one of you guys kind of, I will actually say it's because I imagine as you go, you take turns, kind of like who's going to scout ahead, while the other two kind of like stay behind, and so on and so forth. Well, actually, say it's Ophios. They're taking a break, sitting down, and grabbing a bite to eat. When Ophios, you're the one that actually like, hey guys, I'll go take a glance, make sure everything's good ahead, and you like kind of like making your way, walking along, find a decent sized hill, like looking around on a decent sized hill, you can kind of go up on the hill and get a good look out at what's beyond. As you're walking up that hill, you almost swear you like heard a bit of noise, but no, there's nobody here. Then as you get like almost to the top of the hill, you swear you heard a noise again. So, you slow down. I imagine you take your snake form when you're in alert, right?
Generally, if he hears a noise and thinks somebody might have spotted him, he would say...
Not spotted him. Like, you hear something up ahead. Like, you might be able to go investigate a noise now that people maybe necessarily noticed you.
Only if he has a place to hide his stuff where nobody would likely find it, then he would go in snake form.
I would say that not guaranteed, not find place. A place that maybe would be good, but no guarantee.
Then he wouldn't take snake form.
Okay.
Because he'd rather have his gear on him than be caught. Have somebody find his stuff.
Sure. Due to distance and other details I'll describe in a moment, could you do me a favor, roll me a stealth with advantage as you're kind of like making your way to go investigate what the sound is? Cool. So you make your way up the hill, and then all of a sudden you start to realize, no, there's noise. You hear like clanking of stuff, like you swear you heard chatter, and then there's just like ambient sound that you can hear coming from the other side of this hill. You, instead of just like riding the horse up the hill, you kind of leave the horse down next to where it's like 2 or 3 trees, not like there's a bunch of trees around here growing in huge groves. It's mostly hillocky, but there's like an area where you're pretty sure you can get the horse tethered to the side and not really noticed. And then you make your way along a little further, coming around the top of the hill, like not quite cresting it, you realize, oh shit, there's a camp of soldiers over here. Perception check, normal for me. You quickly are able to discern, based off the armor, colors, and whatnot, that they were there. These are Peredhel soldiers. And this hill that you're coming across, and you can actually see it on the map right here, this hill, my apologies, because this is the next day of travel. It's literally this hill over here, right? You can see that on this hill right here, there seems to be Peredhel soldiers that are right there.
Is it a lot? Do I have a count?
You don't, because you didn't fully crest the hill to get a good look. See, whereas you guys are traveling to Momley, so you're coming down over here and then cutting across to head up. You're staying to the northern edge of the hill, and you're kind of making your way around it. You know that they're camped out on the southern edge of this little hill right here. I'm just making sure that actually, yeah, it's visible in chat. So You're camped out on the southern. They're camped out on the southern edge of this hill right here, taking up like a lot of that face. That's down that side. They're a little bit on the top of the hill, but not many of them are up there. You don't know how many. You're welcome to investigate further if you'd like.
I think it's more important to alert camp than it is to figure out numbers right now. So Ophios would pause for a moment just to see what those two are doing, and then would immediately turn and head down rather quickly, but enough to maintain stealthiness.
So you're able to head back to them. They don't seem to notice you. You rolled a good enough stealth check and kept a good enough distance that I'm not worried about. You get on your horse. You probably lead your horse back a little bit, kind of leaving, and then hop on it, get back to them. Yeah. Again, you're pretty sure you weren't spotted, and you can get back to your camp. If they have scouts about, they probably just haven't checked the area where you guys currently are.
Those could have been the scouts cresting the top of the hill, for all I know. So immediately getting into camp, he would actually approach Yondis first, seeing as Yondis generally has done more range stuff and knows he's kind of quiet and such, and just immediately say, Peredhel military's on the other side of the hills. Perhaps keeps an eyes out if you want to explore Spitz. Will be coming up soon, or perhaps we should get together and decide what we should do.
Did you see any clear path around him?
They're taking to the tops of the hills. Regardless of where we goes, based on our current trajectories, yes.
Okay. Let's get Rena to come up with a plan.
He would just kind of ride to wherever Rena was, which probably wouldn't be that much further from where Yondis was, and just would inform Rena's that Peredhel's military is here, cresting the tops of hills, probably as we speaks.
Did you manage to see how many?
Knows. Figured it was more important to get the message across than get spotted, perhaps trying to find more information.
Think they're searching everyone?
Wouldn't be surprised if they kills without askings.
It's been a while since we've ran into them, right? You don't think they've forgotten?
Down this south, they might not even know.
Could you see? Yondis, would you be able to, like, stealthily attack with Ophios attacking in, like, snake form?
I mean, of course I could stealthily attack. The problem is staying unseen when we don't know how many there are.
Yeah, that's true.
What are the odds they'll just let us ride by? I mean, there's got to be travelers on these roads, right? These are. It's right on the border.
Highly unlikely, I would say, given past occurrences.
Yeah, they probably won't let us pass freely. I mean, could we, like,
so the pinging.
double back and around? Like, how quickly could we get it? Like,
you guys can easily make your way around there. Actually, what I would have you do is, sorry about all the pinging. It's just I can't do things without pinging. It's annoying. You guys could just make a survival check to find the easiest way around there while avoiding their scouts and so on and so forth. And if you want to, but this would require more than just a group survival check. You guys can investigate further if you care to, and you really might not care to.
If there was going to be any further investigation, Ophios would merely mention, perhaps if I approach snake forms and let my gears hears with use. Given their current trajectories and noise before I knew it was them, I didn't want to abandon my stuffs where it could be found.
Well, we are pretty close to the border, so there could just be border patrol. It's probably best just to go back inland and go around.
Yeah, I agree. But he said that
probably not going to leave.
Idea.
think we should just go north and then cut east.
The worries with that is we head back towards the mountains.
Only a couple miles.
Who says they aren't going the same directions? Probably travels slightly slower, but might still encounters. Remembers.
I'm thinking they're at a post here. It seems like a good location to fortify on the border.
Like
just
I
for
said, maybe
PR.
spares the moments and finds out s'mores and then decides from theirs.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we can take another look for sure.
Ophios would start stripping his gear off of him
Heyo.
other than his amulet and arcane crystal.
Okay. So you kind of get yourself naked, and there, it's one of those things. It's like, dude, why did you never give us a heads up? What?
He's like, what?
And would immediately just start sprinting up the hill.
Okay.
Up until the
Sprinting?
point.
Are you gonna like run, and like
Snake form?
dive? And, like,
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
so
Exactly
it's
what
funny.
I was going for.
I was literally going swim team in my head because we all had that one guy in the locker room that was just like boom. And you're like, we're not even getting changed yet. What? We don't have to get changed like another 20 minutes. Why are you already naked? Same kid would be the first one that just like, oh, I'm swimming now. That was Tyler and his swim team. So anyways, you do that, of course, and you get into your large snake form, and you start medium-sized snake form, and start making your way over there to check it out. Now, again, this time you're going to be getting much closer, but because again, I'm going to give you advantage in your stealth check again. But again, this is one of those. They're not really looking for a snake. They're more looking for people that might be in the area. Blah 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 blah. So why don't you roll for me your stealth check as you're getting closer?
Oh my god, a snake, and they cut his head off.
Snow Owl, please don't draw a picture of that. So 16 with your stealth check. So what it is a if you were a person form with how close you're getting to them, they probably would have noticed you. But honestly, they're not looking for a snake low to the ground, curled up and staying still and whatnot, and slithering over and doing the same thing. I imagine the stealth check, represents like a long period of time, not just like a quick run over and check it out. It's going to be like a multi-hour thing as you're really trying to slither your way in. Snakes are slow and methodical and thorough. So you're going to take your time getting there. If the night falls, obviously you're going to be okay. If taking the cover of night and so on and so forth. What you notice is that there is a decent-sized camp there. In fact, not only is there a camp there, but on the southern edge of the hill, it looks like they've actually built themselves a makeshift camp with a bit of wood, walls and whatnot in the area. Like walls to like protect in case anybody was to attack them from like down the hill. Now these are very, very makeshift walls that they have. It's nothing that's going to be able to stop like a huge army from coming up, but definitely would cause a bit of impediment if anybody were to attack, like a smaller group were to attack. You don't know how old it is because you're not super familiar with like military tactics or this stuff. This might be a better question for say Rena, but you know that it's definitely new. You can clearly tell that. As for the number of soldiers, roll me an intelligence check.
Great.
Because you're not going one,
I accidentally
two.
did that with advantage. Let me re-roll that.
Because you're not going like 1, 2, 3, right? You actually get a pretty good guesstimate of how many that are there. You think that there's a solid 100 or so soldiers that are set here. Of those 100 or so soldiers that are set here, honestly, you only see a few horses. And just by judging the horses based off of your recent experience with them, a couple of them seem like, no, these are definitely like workhorses, like for pulling like wagons and whatnot, like supplies or carts or whatever. But there's definitely 2 for transporting like riding steeds. But yeah, a good 100 soldiers that are here on the border of, I guess what would be Adir. You're pretty sure you're I mean, because you saw the maps, you're pretty sure you're close to the border of Adir.
Did you see my text that I typed?
It says, eats the horses. Yep.
Clip that. Clip that. Clip that.
Ew.
Cut the context out.
Don't for yourself. You know, like, dogs, God damn it, SG. She's like, that's going into my personal data bank. That's right.
Right.
You clipped it, you get it.
Ophios is gonna head back down.
Send it to Snoelle. Don't give her a heads up. Just be like, hey, Snoelle. And she's like, what's that?
No, that's too much of a heads up. That's too much of a heads up. Just send her a link.
All right, what do we got? So,
Ophios quickly slithers back down the hill.
so again, this is like hours later on. He's coming back to you. You guys have already like set up your own like very low key camp. Rena, while he's doing that, could you do me a favor? Roll me a survival check, because obviously you have to stay nearby, but a survival check to not get noticed very easily, to like find a good place for the camp.
Do the maps give advantage or no?
Yes, they do. They do.
Okay.
Damn it! I didn't want you to have it, but you have it.
You were gonna sneak right past.
Get you
it.
guys out of that area, so you can't have that anymore. Double 12s. Messi, she's actually going to give you a small boon. Roll your was the DC for you. Roll a stealth check for hiding the camp pretty well, and then I want you to approach Tyler.
Give yourself bardic inspiration.
You can't do that.
Am I doing normal or advanced for this roll?
Regular.
If I say advanced, I meant advantage.
You did. We judged you. It's okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, Ophios, it's not that it's hard for you to find the camp, because you know their patterns and tactics by now, but you're like, oh, this is actually a pretty good camping spot when you finally get to it. Ophios, you approach. Your turn, sir.
Snake approaches.
Snake.
Oh shit! A snake.
I'll just go along and be like, oh no, what do we do, Yondis?
Ophios is transforming as you guys are doing that. It literally just has this look on this face like, assholes.
So we're joking around, and then you transform into a humanoid figure, completely naked. And Giannis is like, I think I prefer you as a snake.
Ophios will just simply say, there's lots, maybe hundreds, 100 plus, but only choose horses. At least rideable horses.
So,
That seems weird.
so they're not planning on traveling?
No, unless they're
Commanders with
waiting.
the march.
They're waiting for people to come back.
We should go north now, extremely quickly, before anything can happen.
Wait, waiting for peoples to come spacks? Oh, forgot to mention. Small forts, relatively news. Walls.
Yeah, otherwise, why would there be so many people and only 2 horses?
Because they don't leave. But we should go northeast now, I think. Now. We need to go now.
I agree.
Cover of nights.
How late is it in the day?
It is nighttime. Yeah, it's this is unless you
It
guys
is
want to do
night.
like a forced march at this point, you guys would be sleeping and heading out in the morning, sort of a thing.
Let's go now.
Yeah, let's go now.
Questions. Do we want
Oh shit.
states?
We need to go now. We really need to go now.
What was that?
Nothing, we need to go right now.
What was that?
We're going northeast and let's cover.
Yeah, we're already gone.
Forced march. Okay,
We're
right.
moving, we're going right now.
Okay, so you go. Right,
going.
make your Constitution saves, quick guys,
Yeah,
quick.
sure, yeah.
Go, con saves.
Okay.
Con save. Yeah, great.
Oh Jesus Christ! I've never seen.
Great, I failed.
That's like you realize. That's like you haven't cleaned the house. Mom's been at work all day, and all of a sudden you realize she's home in 5 minutes, and you're like,
The
"Oh
chicken's
shit!
still in the freezer.
Oh, chicken's still in the freezer. Nuke it. Mom will never know." All right.
The funniest thing is I didn't see it. I just was like, "What's Messi freaking out about?" And I go, "Oh shit, we're going."
I didn't see it, so I was just like, all right, let's just go.
The first hour of marching, and don't get me wrong, like 1 hour alone is pretty good. You can make a good amount of distance in just one forced march, because of the distance that you guys can travel in your state. So you guys are kind of just to put your mini, like you guys are kind of like here, right? Because you would travel, I think I said 6 hours. It's only like 5 or so to get to through a hex. So you're partially into this one, and I imagine you're heading from here, or even no snapping. Is heading from, like, say, here to maybe the north end of this hill. That's a pretty good distance. That's over a day of traveling, but you at least want to get out of here, right? So 1 hour of traveling, Ophios, you're starting to get tired. Just as a reminder, with your quick reference, you do gain 1 level of fatigue or exhaustion, whatever you want to call it. That's not the end of the world. It's just you have disadvantage in ability checks, and it's going to go away when you sleep anyways. But that's not saving throws. Do you guys want to force march a second hour to really, just in case the scouts have a pretty wide berth? Do you want to go 1 more hour just in case?
I'm the only one that failed that check, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that another Constitution save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I kind of want Tyler to go first, so
All right, fine, I'll do it.
All right, good. It's just DC 11 at this point, so it's nothing crazy.
Oh.
Okay, Rena, you just made it.
All right.
Woo!
So you guys are actually able to travel that second that second hour to like really start traveling yourself out of there. And again, because you're doing so well, the DC is only a 12 at this point. If you want, you can push yourself a third hour, start really, again, you're at the tail end of where any like wide scouts would really be for like a defensive spot as opposed to an offensive spot. There's not too much of a penalty if you push yourself 1 more time, even if you fail, even if Tyler fails. Would you want to try 1 more? Okay. Tyler's saying screw it, go.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you guys roll as well.
This is the one we fail.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Yep, you do.
Yep. Yep.
And Rena's fine, which makes sense, of course. So
Can I carry them?
Yeah. She's the toughest amongst them. So you guys do actually travel that third extra hour, which is like a pretty good extra distance of travel. I mean, you travel several miles each hour that goes on, getting you a pretty damn good distance away from this place. It's still nighttime by the time, Ophios is starting to get really tired. He'd be moving at half speed. His horse is moving slower. They're seeming kind of sloppy.
Ophios falls off the horse.
Oh, that Jesus. It's only 2 degrees of exhaustion, not 4.
He falls off the horse when we finish out that before we do the next roll. When we would do the next roll, that's when he just falls off the horse.
Okay, so would you want to push 1 more hour then? Is that what you're suggesting? A 4th hour?
No.
Okay.
He falls off because horse riding is not a snake's thing.
Yep. No, that makes sense. Okay. So you kind of like slide off of it because your grip is just not the best there. Your legs are a little tired, et cetera, et cetera. And Yondis also looks tired. Rena, it's not that you're alert, awake, or anything like that. It's just like your coffee is doing a good job. You know what I mean? Like mine right now. So I imagine this is where you guys are going to pull up camp. I'm not going to make you roll a survival check or anything to find a good place to camp because honestly, you've probably already done a good spot. At this point. And actually at this point, this is what I'd ask. I know we, as a party, kind of agreed, we can go a little bit further, so on and so forth. We pushed another half hour to kind of like finish up, button off everything that's there, and really kind of like move past this. I was really excited to reveal the fact that there was a little camp there. I was super excited about that. But so I won't lie. Last session I was upset when we couldn't finish the combat and reveal it. So this session, I'm glad we could.
I figured we could just make up for the fact that we couldn't finish last time tonight. So
yeah, no, that's fine. And did you
that's
want?
Okay with everyone.
Did you want to go? This is what I'm asking. Did you guys want to go? Like, I don't know how much further you guys are comfortable with playing because we didn't really chat about that. We just said go a little bit longer. Cool. What do you guys comfortable?
Yeah,
I'm good to go at least at very minimum another half hour.
Okay.
Yeah, very minimum another half hour for me too. I could probably go another hour and a half, but not past 3 a.m. here.
Yeah. I also have a kid and whatnot too, and I have work tomorrow. But why don't we take a quick break, like a 5-er, and we'll come back for about another like 30-40 minutes, right? And then that way people can go take a pee or whatever it is that are watching as well as us ourselves, right? By that I mean me. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Yes, same, yeah. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So like a quick 5-minute break, and we'll do like another 30-40 minutes, okay? Thanks, everybody.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.
God damn it, Anno.
right when I found that hill, I'm like, and you said over 100, I knew that was gonna trigger.